Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. My name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And here we are off into the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. That's right, the playoffs are here. It's time to determine who is going to lift the all-important Vince Lombardi Trophy in the Super Bowl out there in Los Angeles in the beautiful confines of SoFi Stadium. And all the 18 weeks of hard work have now led down to 14 teams. We all know Tennessee, Green Bay's got that first round bye, so they can sit back and enjoy this weekend with everyone else. But before we dive into all this action, if you could, go ahead, hit that thumbs up for me, especially if you like the content I provide you and entertainment value I provide to you. In terms of this, it really pleases you two guys. It really helps this channel, promote this channel out, and I greatly appreciate it. You can also subscribe. I check my analytics. A lot of you guys view my work, and I love you all for doing that. Now, if you subscribe, does it cost you a dime? It helps me provide more entertainment value for you. Now, before we dive into these Super Wildcard, I want to do a quick recap of how these standings at the end of the season compared to what I originally said in my NFL preview video. So there was a few surprises in there, and I'll just go ahead and start off with the AFC. And I said that New England will just be that number 8 team getting into the playoffs. So I figured they'd be a decent team this year, and I think they had that good run they had at the right point in time where they were actually looking to reclaim the East. But I did have Buffalo win the East, and which they did. New England's, how the East stacks up now is how I predicted it to go. I didn't think Flores would get fired, so that was a bit of a shock there in Miami. But this is what it is. If you don't win, the culture of win now attitude, basically. Owners and fans are not keen on rebuilds. They want to make the playoffs. They want a chance to win the Super Bowl. So now for the AFC North, totally wrong on that aspect. I had 3 teams coming out of here, and none of those 3 teams was Cincinnati, who just lit up the sky with Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase. I mean, those two just rekindling their love affair they had betting down LSU. And, they had a great showing as part of the most scariest teams right now in the playoffs to kind of watch out for. But I didn't have them make the playoffs. I didn't think they were quite there yet. I thought they could use some more help on the offensive line. But apparently, if you just, give the Mixon and throw it to Chase, that's it. I mean, you give it to those two guys, they run amok. Teams had to play catch up, and then the Bengals are opportunistic defense. So I had Cleveland winning the division, and so a lot of other people. And this is definitely a disappointing year for the Browns. So we'll see kind of what happens with them. A lot of it deals with injuries for that team. So we see how that kind of goes from there. Ravens was another one, had another disappointing year. Lamar Jackson was gone for a good portion of that, which kind of led to the demise of Baltimore. Big Ben's making this his last year, and he was able to get into the playoffs, thankfully. We took to the last seconds of the Sunday night game on the 18th to determine whether or not Pittsburgh gets in the playoffs. But I said Pittsburgh get in the playoffs. They'll get there at the number 7 seed, and ta-da, I was right. So at least I got that aspect out of there. And for the AFC South, just the last 2 teams were switched around. I thought Jacksonville probably do a little bit better than Houston. Houston even fired Culley not too long ago, which I think is kind of a shame. He did what he had to do with what he had available, and actually, I think they found a decent quarterback in Mills. So, unfortunately, he was a scapegoat. The rebound per se to find the next head coach. But I said Tennessee is the only team to come out of this division, and there it was. Now, out west, I thought Kansas City would repeat. They did repeat. We also had the Chargers making that fifth round, that other wild card, and it was actually between the Chargers and the Raiders. That last Sunday night game, which was a dandy. Especially if you guys didn't watch that, that's definitely one of those you want to check out if you can. But the Raiders kind of surprised me. I didn't think they'd be that good because I wasn't that big on Gruden. He was gutting that team pretty bad, so I wasn't sure they were making the right choices. But apparently, the right pieces fell into place to play the right games. They were performing at the right time. I mean, you got Max Crosby out there at defensive end, just running havoc in the backfield. So the Raiders gets in despite the season turmoil. Had to cut in 2 receivers, their head coach. I mean, and they still get in. So hats off to the Raiders. But they definitely knocked off, my little team I thought that could surprise people. And then we head off to the NFC. With the East, I really thought Washington had a chance because of the defense, and the defense was a non-factor in this one. It's been a big disappointment. And Dallas came up, and I knew Dallas had the pedigree, not really the talent on there. I wasn't sold on the defense. It was Dallas' defense that showed up, so that Washington's, and that's how Dallas took the top seed. But I didn't think anyone else coming out of this division, and Philadelphia kind of surprised everyone. Now out there in the North, as you see it, is how I called it. No true shocks there for the South. Pretty much how I called that one, except for the bottom 2 teams you can switch around. Atlanta definitely did a little bit better than Carolina. Carolina, I think, would have done better if McCaffrey was healthy. Him being gone two long stretches hurt this team. And out west, I had all 4 of those teams making it. With their San Fran taking the division title. San Fran finished 2 games out of the Rams. I thought these teams will be like 1 game apart. The Rams took the division. 1 game behind them was the Cardinals. 1 game behind the Cardinals was the Niners. And then Seattle was like 3 games out. Losing Russell Wilson for a portion of the season really hampered them as well. So I think if Wilson was healthy throughout the entire season, I think you could have had all 4 teams from the West making it. But it is what it is. So that is pretty much the recap of my picks compared to what's going to happen this playoffs. And like I said, this is as the NFL called it, a super wild card weekend. You have 6 games slotted. You have a Monday night matchup there in Martin Luther King, so everyone's off, so they can go to that game. Let's just go ahead and start off with the Saturday matchups, starting in Cincinnati as the Bengals will play host to the Raiders. This is definitely going to be a very entertaining matchup between these two. The last time these two met was back on the 21st of November in Las Vegas, and Cincinnati came to town and just destroyed Las Vegas 32-13. It was the Joe Mixon show. He had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, so I don't expect another blowout like that in this game. I do expect Las Vegas to be a little bit better. I think Max Crosby has definitely inserted himself towards the end of the season, being a very key aspect of really helping the Raiders make this push to the playoffs. And David Carr is definitely a quarterback that is very capable of making key plays. He's a very intelligent quarterback, and Withrow is his biggest target. But there's just too many weapons on Cincinnati's offense to really slow them down much. Right now, Cincinnati's favored by 5.5. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I do, but I do see Cincinnati winning against Las Vegas. And then the matinee on Saturday night is round 3 between New England and Buffalo. And it's going to be a cold game there in Buffalo. A cold game in January, Buffalo? Who would have thought? It looks like it'll be like 0 degrees, probably even below that. It's going to be horrendous for the players. So when you You tackle them, it's going to hurt. You hit the ground, it's going to hurt. Try to catch the pass, this is going to hurt. I mean, it's going to be a very physical matchup. And between these two, each road team won. So the Bills go kind of look at, see if they can wreck their ship and defend their home turf against the Patriots. They do extremely well at home in the playoffs. Now, this is Bill Belichick, and he is an old hand when it comes to playoff games. So I don't expect, the game like we saw in last time in Buffalo where Mac Jones barely threw, and they still won because they just ran. I do expect the Patriots to run a lot. This is going to be a way to keep the game close. The Bills need to find ways to get other members of that offense going, especially the running attack, to really help alleviate some pressure from Josh Allen. Right now, Buffalo's favored by 4. I think they'll be closer than that, too. This is going to be another good one, but I do think Buffalo will be able to escape New England. Then, Sunday. We'll start off with Philadelphia visiting Tampa Bay. Tampa Tom looking for number 8. I mean, he keeps it up. He's going to have more rings than fingers. But last time these two faced off was back October 14th. Tampa Bay squeaked past Philadelphia 28-22. After that game, Philadelphia really started to run the ball, and really dominated themselves, being one of the best running teams out there. And Tampa Bay has kind of shown they are susceptible to the run, but Tampa Bay is starting to get healthy. So you get their linebacker David's going to be back, which was missing that in that first time. Leonard Fournette looks like he's going to be coming back. So a lot of key pieces for the Bucs are coming back, so that could be bad news for Philadelphia. So Philadelphia's going to run the ball, but you're taking on Tom Brady. He's going to throw the ball, and if you don't, you could probably put 2 or 3 guys on Gronk, but he's going to leave other people open, especially like Evans, and then Miller's another one's kind of stepping up in the replacement of Godwin and Brown. So there are some good pieces there in Tampa Bay, and right now the Bucs are favored by 8.5. I'm going to say it's going to be higher. I think it's going to be a 10-point victory by Tampa Bay. I think they're just too good to not do this against Philadelphia. And to Big D, where the Cowboys play host to the 49ers. The last time these two faced off was back in December 19th of 2020. This is where the Cowboys were able to outgun the 49ers 41-33. This is a different team. Dallas defense definitely stepped up. Michael Parsons, like I said in the beginning of the year, he is definitely a threat right there in that Dallas defense. He's a jack of all trades. You put him anywhere. He's a plug-and-play player. He wreaks havoc. Lawrence has come back on the defensive line. He's actually done some great things as he's come back. Trevion Diggs in the backfield, interception machine. So the Cowboys defense is definitely good, but they are susceptible to the run. And I think the key aspect with this one, I think it's been brought up a few times with other professionals, that George Kittle for the 49ers will be a key asset, not necessarily in catching, but in blocking. Now, this guy loves to block. He loves to put linebackers on their back. And in this game, I can actually see it going either way. Both these teams look really, really good. 49ers right now are coming in screaming hot. Dallas look inconsistent, especially against very quality teams. They tend to not play as well, especially when those starters are in. The Philadelphia game does not count. That's the end of the year. Philadelphia has already benched quite a few players because they didn't have nothing else to play for. So I'm not going to count that Philadelphia game. But if you look at, they got outgunned by Tampa Bay. They got outgunned by Arizona. I have a feeling they'll be outgunned by San Francisco. Right now, Dallas favored by 3. I see San Francisco winning by 3. So 49ers win Big D. And then Sunday night matinee matchup out there in Kansas City as Ben Roethlisberger is looking to continue his playing days this year, visiting the Chiefs. Last time these two faced off was December 26th, and the Chiefs just dominated them 36-10. If the defense played the exact same way that they did for the Chiefs against the Steelers, it could be a repeat performance. But T.J. Watt's able to get in that backfield and disrupt Mahomes. I think the game's going to be closer. And it's one of these games that I could really see go either way. But right now, Chiefs are favored by 12.5. That's too high. I get everyone loves Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. They're really looking for them to make a nice run to the Super Bowl, make it 3 in a row, which I predicted. But I think it'll be closer to 12.5. I think it's going to be like a 7-point or less affair. So I'm still picking the Chiefs to beat the Pittsburgh and Big Ben's career, unfortunately. But there's too much going in the way of the Chiefs for not to really pick them, and I really think they're going to make a nice deep run in the playoffs. And then Monday Night Football, first time ever in the playoffs, you'll have the Cardinals visiting the Rams. And right now the Rams, time this video, is favored by 4. In this showdown, both teams have won on the road, and Arizona is one of the best road teams in the NFL. They are 8-1. This is the Arizona Roadbirds. I think they've kind of fell right back into their lap on how to kind of go about this. If they could do the same intensity they did last time in LA and early in the season, that really shocked everyone and put Arizona on the map. I can really see this happening. Stafford has been I'm not going to say inconsistent, but he's definitely made some questionable calls, and he has made some errant passes. And those big names on the defense have been kind of silent somewhat here and there. And if Arizona could find some way to kind of mitigate Darnold and Miller getting in the backfield and avoid Jalen Ramsey in the secondary, I think Arizona has a shot. But losing DeAndre Hopkins really is a key factor in this game. But I am still going to take Arizona on the road just how they've been playing. And I think it's going to be closer than the 4 points. I really think it's going to be like a 1 or 2 point affair. But I'm taking the Cardinals in LA. There you have it. Those are my picks for Super Wildcard Weekend. The teams I had picked for the conference championship game are definitely not going to be facing off in that time frame. They could face off a lot earlier. So, it is what it is. It's the NFL. You can go predict so much, and you can't be, 100% on that. You can be very good, but it's really hard to determine. We're going to see how also these coaching carousels go. We all know that Jacksonville, Chicago, now Houston, as I mentioned, the Giants have cut loose Judge. So you got that opening. Maybe even Vegas. It depends on what they do. So there's some coaching opportunities out there. So we'll kind of see how things kind of go. Definitely a couple key destinations of Barbie, Jacksonville, Chicago, and maybe even Las Vegas. Denver's another one that popped up. That could be a intriguing one. You get the right coach, maybe get a quarterback guy slide in there. Hey, let me know who you're going to got winning this weekend. Are your Super Bowl picks still in? Mine are. I still got the Chiefs and Packers still in there, so I could be right on that aspect. Well, it's only time will tell if that's true. Hey, just let me know in the comments below. While you're there, like I said, you can go ahead and smash that thumbs up. You also subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.